Hi, I'm Freya. Today I will outline my assessment plan for Nathan Henderson, a 7-month-old Aboriginal Australia boy referred by his Year 2 teacher due to concerns about expressive language, speech errors, oral and written difficulties. Given Nathan's bilingual exposure to both Aboriginal Australia English AAE and Standard Australia English SAE, I've chosen a comprehensive, culturally responsive, and evidence-based plan to investigate his language, speech, literacy, and pragmatic skills. This is my one-page overview for Nathan's assessment plan. I will start by interviewing Nathan's mother, Tara, and his teacher, Mrs. Wang. This will give me insight into his language exposure, family priorities, classroom performance, and how his diabetes is managed. I will also ask for specific examples of language concerns, since Nathan uses both Aboriginal and Standard Australia English. This background helps avoid mistaking dialectal features for deficits. According to Ganjoit, medical and developmental history is key to accurate diagnosis. Tara also shared that Nathan's speech was hard to understand until age 5 and still showed grammar errors. This step will help clarify whether his difficulties reflect development, dialect, or disorder, and will take about 25 to 35 minutes. Next, I will use a yarning approach to gather both an oral narrative and a natural conversation sample. This will let Nathan share his story in a culturally safe and engaging way, while also giving me ecologically valid data. Through his narrative, I will analyze microstructure like setting, characters, and events, and microstructure including mean length of utterance, comprehension, and grammar. The spontaneous conversation will also help me observe his pragmatic use, such as topic maintenance, turn-taking, and any AAE features. I will then transcribe and analyze these samples using systematic analysis of language transcripts (SOT), which gave objective quantitative data on expressive language. The session will take about 30 to 40 minutes. Since Nathan is bilingual, the assessment will be conducted in AAE, and I will work with a colleague who proficient in AAE to ensure cultural and linguistic accuracy. Taxi support using SOT across diverse contexts, and Rayleigh notes that narrative offers a valuable way to observe developmental language patterns over time. Given Mrs. Wang concerns about grammar and expression, the approach will help me see how Nathan organizes and communicates his ideas in a meaningful and measurable way. I will then use the diagnostic evaluation of articulation and phonology deep, which includes phonology, articulation, inconsistency, and oromotor self-tests. This assessment will classify Nathan error patterns, determine their consistency, and evaluate oromotor adequacy. The entire assessment is expected to take around 30 to 45 minutes to complete all 4 subtests. Tara reported that Nathan's speech was very difficult to understand until age 5, though he noticed gradual improvement. However, according to Speech Pathology Australia, a 5-year-old child can use well-structured sentences so that most people can understand. So it's important to examine whether his current difficulties are residual phonological patterns, some specific articulation errors, or oromotor issues. I will then administer Bright Path, asking Nathan to produce a short narrative writing sample. Based on case history, Mrs. Wang has reported significant grammar and spelling errors in his writing. So Bright Path will identify whether written expression aligns with or diverges from his oral narrative performance. According to Big Hall, Bright Path is an innovative writing assessment system that evaluates normal classroom writing tasks, including spelling, punctuation, sentence formation, clarity of referencing, paragraphing, and text structure. This task is expected to take around 15 to 20 minutes to complete. I will also use dynamic assessment to evaluate Nathan's learning potential. Because Nathan is exposed to both Aboriginal and Standard Australia English, it's important to differentiate between language difference and language disorder. According to Asha, dynamic assessment helps to better distinguish between speech-language difference and disorder, thereby clarifying appropriate intervention targets. I will apply a test teach retest format. For example, introducing a grammar rule, providing brief teaching, and then reassessing. If Nathan shows strong learning after support, it suggests his challenges are likely due to language difference rather than disorder. Finally, I will bring together all findings from case history, narrative, speech, and literacy assessments, and dynamic tasks to determine if Nathan has a language disorder, speech disorder, literacy delay, or if his difficulties reflect dialectal differences. I will compare his performance against SALT norms, AAE milestones, and classroom expectations to ensure an accurate diagnosis. This comprehensive picture will support tailored recommendations for home, school, and therapy to promote Nathan's communication and learning success. That's all for today. Thanks for listening.